Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Chemda, I have a letter here that I enjoyed very, very much. May I read it to you?
Please.
Hi.
Hi.
My name's Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, and also atheism to you.
Well, I want to thank you both for all your religion or anti-religion talk.
Hey, I just did that.
I finally shed the guilt, pressure, and everything that went with being raised a strict Catholic, and yet somehow I'm still able to be a good person. Can you imagine? Keith has said that when he rants on politics or religion, it's not necessarily to change minds, as it is him talking to a younger version of himself that needed to hear what's real and what's bullshit. Well, I don't know that I'm younger than Keith per se, but I feel I'm a multiverse character of Keith, and hearing his religion talk some years ago till now really woke me up. He's right. What the fuck is original sin that we were saved because Jesus Christ took a beating? As he likes to say, I wouldn't be able to pass a high school test with that kind of answer. Keith, you tweeted out, how do people believe in original sin, not understand institutionalized racism? Exactly. But we know why, because these assholes don't really believe. They don't believe that a woman got pregnant from an angel. If their wives told them that bullshit, would they stop and think, yay, miracles are on the comeback? Of course not. They don't believe a burning bush can talk, and they don't believe snakes care if you eat an apple or not.
Unless you take mushrooms.
Right? Something can't be 100% God and 100% man. Was the Bible written before math existed? It's all bullshit so that you can have fake Sunday friends, and it fucked with me for too long. And yes, I'll still put up a Christmas tree. That's fun. Nothing fun about showing off ashes taped to your forehead. Taped to your forehead. If I didn't have you two wake me up to what, honestly, I knew the whole time, I think I'd be more of a mess for it. Religion is bad, and we'd be better off without it. Wars, abortion rates. This is in quotes. Who told you that I need to keep my Who told you that I needed to keep my unwanted unborn baby? Oh, a dude that I eat every Sunday? The fuck? Oh, and I'm out of the closet now. Fuck you, church.
Oh my goodness. This is the new description for our show. Oh, if I was a mother, I'd be just so proud. Wow.
I teared up a little bit first time I saw the fuck you, church. I'm out of the closet. No way a man can love another man, but you can kill your kid if you have a dream about it. What a world. I'd like to be able to say that if religion works for you, fine. But what a coincidence that what you were born into is the right way to go. For me, OMAT under the VIP app makes 1,000% more sense. Now that's accurate math.
Wow.
Anyway, thank you both so much for everything you do, and have a very blessed Christmas. Jeff.
Oh, Jeff, this is everything. You know what's interesting? Within our first 10 episodes of Keith and the Girl, which was in 2005, we have an episode called Jeff the Jerk Off. And today, nearly 17 years in, the redeeming Jeff has come through. Just like the rising of Christ, I imagine, with a silly story and blah, blah, blah. But wow, Jeff, beautiful. I couldn't be prouder. If you said that at my funeral, I'd be very pleased.
Well, it's a great way to celebrate the last show of the year, the last Keith and the Girl show. We'll still throw you some VIP things, of course. And who better to do it with than the host of the podcast, Am I the Asshole? Danny Vega. Hello, Danny.
Oh my God. Thank you guys. So I'm so honored to be on the final. I'm headlining Keith and the Girl for the year. Now I have to do a 48-hour set.
Well, first, let's get to the top stories. Josh Duggar of the Duggar family. They have, a family of 68 people. Found guilty on 2 counts of child pornography. Josh Duggar's trial returned guilty verdicts on charges of possessing child pornography and receipt of child pornography. Prosecutors ridiculed the defense's fantasy claim that a high-level hacker remotely accessed Duggar's work computer to download the material. His work computer, he said, was hacked. Now,
I like that they added a high-level hacker.
Yeah.
This wasn't your ordinary Nigerian scam or your average click here and you got meat spin. This is high level. Right. Now, when people say things like that, you have to go, what do you think hacker means?
Right. The government's case is that Duggar installed a secret second operating system on his HP that only he could access. Now that's
high
intent.
level. Yes.
High level. They put on a whole new computer system hidden. I think the cat went on the keyboard and installed a new computer system. The defense reminded jurors that they were obliged to hear Duggar unless, quote, every reasonable doubt had vanished from their minds. Oh, don't worry. There was no doubt. There was no doubt this guy did it himself.
When you're pulling on that, when you're like, remember, you can't have 1% of the doubt. You can't have 0.05%. And that's less. That's less. And so when you have to do it like you're a late night infomercial, like you would think you only needed 10% to convict someone. No, 5%? Absolutely not. In our system, you need 0%.
And they're like, yeah, no problem. No problem. We know. He's 33 years old. He's facing up to 40 years behind bars if he's found guilty of downloading, but he is found guilty. I don't know. Anyway, he's facing up to 40 years. So we'll see. Wow. He did say, they said, oh, you have an HP system here. And he said, oh, I'm not a Windows guy, first of all. That was part of his defense. He knows Mac is the way to go.
You know, you get on a new computer, you don't know how it works, and you accidentally, do what it appears I did. Who among us has not? It's like a shortcut on the desktop, is it not? Come on.
Other exciting news, the Jussie Smollett verdict. The gentleman who said he was beaten up in a hate crime by two white dudes saying this is MAGA country, you N-word, and supposedly beat him up.
I just want you to know, before you give this, Jussie Smollett, this name. Now, I write some notes as we go along, and I have spelled Jussie Smollett different every single time I wrote it down. Yeah. So I would fail this test, even though he's been in the news for a while.
Yeah, I didn't trust him right away. I think he's lying about his name. Anyway, I'm invested in this because on my last album called I'm Dating Your Mom, I use that as reference about things that people believe in. And I'm like, I mean, nobody believes in the Jussie story. And I told some little joke about it and moved on. But I wanted to stand the test of time. So I was very invested. This happened in January 2019. My stand-up was that April. He has been tried on 6 counts of disorderly conduct for lying to police. He was convicted on 5 of the 6 counts.
Wow. Your stand-up holds up now.
Yes.
That's exciting.
I really went out on a limb there thinking his story was bullshit publicly. He was acquitted on the count of lying to a detective in mid-February, but not acquitted on the times that he lied to cops about it. So I don't know the fine print there, but he got away with 1 of 6 counts. He could face up to 20 years.
You know what's sad about this? He's an actor. If I was a good actor, wouldn't I be a great liar?
You'd think. Well, no, but he's not a writer. He's an actor.
Okay. Oh, so the writing doesn't hold true and the actor can't. So now we know what's more important, the writing or the acting. Thank you, Jussie.
Yeah, the writing. And he should have, I'd like to bring up to the stand the writer for Empire, Bobby David. Bobby, tell us what happened. Jussie. Jussie will cry while you tell us. Now, he pushed it. They let him go. They said, we're going to keep your bail. Just shut the fuck up. And he's like, no, I need people to know I'm innocent. And I kept pushing it. And now he's going to get jail time, most likely. It was the 2 people, brothers, that he hired to pretend that they beat him up on video, worked for Empire also. They have video of him doing run-throughs with these guys in the same area. Everybody has Ring doorbells and there's street cameras. They have all this footage of him planning it. So he does understand rehearsal. That's good. But that he told the guys, like, punch me, but pull your punches. Don't fuck me up too much. It's still my bread and butter. I'm a handsome gentleman.
He should have just pled. It was a movie. I was making a little tiny movie, pled it's a production.
Always videotape. always be cameraing. ABC, you know that. And look at Keith's face also as he's telling you these news stories. Christmas is in a couple of weeks for the rest of us, but for him, he just reached under that Christmas tree and opened up a couple wonderful boxes. Congratulations, Keith.
It feels important that this guy is held to task. You didn't have to push it. You did. And you looked right at the cameras with tears in your eye, you fake fuck. And you're like, can you believe we live in a world like this? And now you're making it look like the world doesn't exist. No, it does exist. It is disgusting. This shit does happen. It didn't happen to you.
For Keith's high court, the worst thing that you can do is try to trick him.
Yes.
He understands why people initially lie. But then if you try to trick him on top, we already know. If he already knows something and you try to tell him it's not that, Christmas.
I passed David Blaine in the streets of New York. I said, fuck you. I don't like being tricked. Are you going to draw on my chest with my shirt still on? Get the fuck out of here. You're sick. Smollett has maintained his innocence throughout, insisting that he did not stage the attack. That the brothers say, yeah, not only did we stage it, we have a check from you for that. And he goes, no, that was just to work me out. Oh, what days did you work out with them? Right, never. But the 39-year-old says he was still says he was the victim of a beating that he had nothing to do with. The brothers claimed he set it up so that they would rough him up and not hurt him severely. Here's the thing. Is he going to stick to this story and hope he could work again? But that means you're not going to get parole. You have to show remorse. You can lie the whole time, be found guilty. But then after that, for parole, this is what it seems to me. You got to go, yeah, actually, I did lie. I learned a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. How bad is jail? Is it badder than your ego? Let's find out.
I think it's worse than being a millionaire. Anytime you talk to him now about something in the news, you kind of forget. You're just hanging out with him. And then he goes, well, I don't believe in that. And then you go, oh, yeah, you're just safe. Fuck you. Forget it. Who cares? If he killed himself in jail, I would not be surprised. I really would not. You're as an actor, your life is done. That's what I think. Now I see everybody being forgiven, so who the fuck knows? But you're talking about a hate crime and how racist this country is. So you can't just run to the right side and do that kind of shit. They don't like you either. No one likes you. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if he killed himself in jail. And if he did, I think he's going to hang himself and leave a note that says, deaf other people killed me. I bet he pushes it even then.
It's like reverse Epstein.
Yes.
Yes, I was murdered. Please make them think.
Absolutely. Hope you're happy now. The end.
Gotta love what Keith thinks of depression.
Right?
It's just, I don't know that he's prone to that kind of depression. Right? I think I think you have to be prone to killing yourself. No, it's not the one thing.
But you can't work again. I don't think you're a joke now forever. What do you do at 40 years old?
But remember that guy who made a movie and it was such a joke that what's his face made another movie about it.
I do actually. Kind of makes sense to me. Isn't that amazing, folks? The Disaster Artist was the remake. The Room is the original.
Okay. Now, if you look in that guy's face, and we reviewed this after you saw the movie.
Yeah.
When you look in that guy's face, he's thrilled. And we actually had a poll. Is he okay? And most people, I believe, said he was okay because ignorance is bliss. And this is the life he wants to lead. He's in Hollywood, whether it's a joke or not.
Well, what happened was he showed the movie he rented out a theater. This guy showed the movie. Everybody started laughing. He didn't know why. Then he made up that was supposed to be a comedy.
See?
That's not the worst lie in the world, though. If he had any, he could still, he's a joke, but he can still appear places. I think Jussie can.
But I think this is a very Jussie type of lie. Meant to do that. Or what are you talking about? It's very gaslighty where you don't know how to tell the truth or how to tell a lie. And that's when a jumbling mess, you have to know either how to tell the truth or how to tell a lie, or all you have is a mess. What story are you telling? You can't be half and half. It's
I
got to be
feel like
whole milk.
he didn't hurt anybody though. He made this
Right.
horrible movie and then it happened to be funny, which happens all the time. Like, you write a joke and you're like, oh, this is the funny part, how stupid my friend is. And then you tell the joke and you're like, oh no, I'm the funny part. I look horrible, but you get to say, oh yeah, I meant that. Of course I knew, I'm self-aware.
Yeah. Kamala Harris was on Jesse's side, he stared Robin Roberts right in the face and lied. You don't do that. You don't do that, my friend. No, it's not even close to me. That's over. Danny, I want to know all about you. I want to know what's doing. I want to know how your holidays are going so far. I want to know if you're happy. I follow you on social media. I can't fucking tell.
Is that what you're like? Is this guy happy? That's what you're wondering a lot.
I can't tell if you're suicidal or it's just a joke you're making. How you doing, Danny?
What am I putting out? You're just like, this is really unstable. No, I'm good. I'm good. I've become very boring. I've become very focused. I do have some juicy quotes from Thanksgiving. I went to Florida where my Cuban family is.
Okay.
And this is the quote of the trip. I got a little anxious. It's very Republican. The Cubans are very Republican. So I was just like, hey, is everybody vaccinated? And my cousin goes, well, as proud Republicans, we are all mostly vaccinated. I was like, I don't even know where to start with that.
Right.
But I'm eating Thanksgiving still, so let's go. But
yeah, what do you have to tell yourself? Do you tell yourself like, well, you know the story by now, so if you die, you die. Pass the potatoes. What goes through your head?
Exactly that. I'm like, look, I think there's probably going to be turkey and gravy. And if this is it, this is it. I mean, I'm tired. You guys know I called it early, February 2020. I was Nostradamus for this thing. And I ran out of steam, 5 months later? And I said, it's happening. That's it. Let it happen. Take me now. If now's my time, let's go.
Right. Do you think you're fighting against God by taking the vaccine? He's like, I'm trying, Danny. I'm trying.
Absolutely. I've become radically anti-medicine. No. Get your booster. I don't know. I'm tired. Sure. Did you guys get boosted? I'm like, I don't know. One more again.
It really takes you out of your day.
Come on. I'm busy. Let's go. Make everyone else get it. Then I get the third one, right? Doesn't everybody have to get seconds before you get thirds? It's a little crazy.
What were you talking about on your show recently? You're talking about the UPS and you're not a fan. And I know me and Chemda have bitched about it before, but this got people riled up and excited.
Riled. I mean, you guys know I piss people off. If I make mistakes and I own my mistakes, we've never had anything, even all the horrible things I say. I said FUPS on like 3 episodes, still getting messages to this day. Nobody's having a good experience. And I think we need to declare a war on UPS. I'm done.
I've caught them putting packages next to my door, taking a picture and then walking away with it. I've of course caught we've all had this where they come up to the door and they're like, oh, guess you're not home. I don't have to take that big package out of my truck.
Right.
You know what the worst was is when at the height of quarantine, when obviously everybody's at home, we still got messages like, "Up, you weren't home," and we're like, "That we weren't home.
We were home. We were home.
We have to be home. We're mandated."
Yeah, they just do nothing. They don't call. It's UPS policy. The company policy is they don't have phones. What century are we in? Give your drivers phones. It's crazy. And then there's FedEx, which is like expensive. And like, I don't understand why it's so hard to get anything, and then the post office, horrible. It's like, how are we supposed to send each other stuff?
Amazon.
They used to chase down trucks, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, okay. There's a lot more stuff that can happen outside of our own space, but we used to even make our own DVDs, burn them, print the art, put the cases together, all of this stuff. And so it used to be like, we used to get all the t-shirts and then we'd have to organize. So there was some very time sensitive things and UPS would come around and would say, hey, we tried you. And we're like, we work from home.
Right.
We work from home. We have a note on the door saying we are home. So don't tell me we missed it. We have one bathroom, so we're both not shitting. We didn't miss it because we're on the toilet, right? So I would call up and they'd be like, "Oh, you missed it," and I'm like, "Well, he's still in the neighborhood because we just missed him and we were home. Tell me where he is." Like, we can't tell you where he is. I'm like, I bet you can. And so there were like 1 or 2 times where I was like, thanks for the address. And I went to meet him there. People weren't very pleased with me. And I had to stop doing stuff like that because, Danny, like you said, I'm tired. Don't get me the package. Okay. And then I do remember one time I had to leave and UPS closes at like, let's say 7 or something with the phone calls and whatever. And Keith had to call. And I'm like, we're both looking at each other like, Keith's going to fuck this up. And if there was any way for him not to do it, we would both agree to that. But that's like, Keith, don't hang up until this happens. Okay. That's the entire motivational speech. When they say, no, we can't do it, you ask for someone else. Don't hang up until this happens. 5 minutes later, he calls me. I don't know, man. They couldn't do anything for me. I was like, holy shit.
No, Chemda will go down there and scratch him up. I get overwhelmed.
I just, we had to get to know each other. And I had to get to know he's going to hang up. The end. And now I do too. I'm just like, okay.
And then Chemda hung up the relationship. She said, good day.
Keith, hold this phone.
Right.
I'm curious, have you guys ever said something that you thought was like a throwaway? Like you got that amazing religion letter, but you said something and then it just resonated with all these people. And you're like, this is like a thing in our society. Like UPS hate is like a tenet of American life.
Nothing. Go ahead. I was going to say nothing doesn't pop into my mind, but whenever it happens, it's almost a surprise to me. What were you going to say, Chemda?
Well, I think it's that collective consciousness thing, right? I remember walking to the studio one time and people leaning out of the window and cat calling. And I'm like, holy shit, I can't even fucking walk to work. And I come in and it gets on the show. I'm just like, what is all this? You have to talk to me right now. And then I have to say, thank you. I put my head down. Now I'm an adult putting my head. I just got so angry. And then all of a sudden the Me Too movement happened. And I know I didn't start the Me Too movement, but it was, here's a catcalling video. It was, here's this person talking about it. It was, and then it became like this trending thing across the board. And I'm like, how does this happen? And if you look at it, we all get sick of the same thing in waves. And that's why they call it another wave. And it's just the collective consciousness. But we got to see it because we talk so much in public. We got to see it happen over the years with us riding the wave with everybody. It's interesting.
Okay, I just got chills because was that prior? Do you remember that video that went crazy viral that was like walking around New York for 10 hours as a woman? Was it before that?
It was like the video was on her ass, right? And you can see all the guys would turn around and either yell something or their tongue was on the ground.
That same week, somebody sent me that video and it was either right before it trended or because I saw it from a listener because of that episode. And then a day or two later, I saw it trending. So I don't know if it didn't trend with me faster or something, but it was the same amount of things.
You started Me Too. Chemda got societies. You were the kindling for Me Too.
I think we all were. That's how a movement happens because there is kindling.
So congrats to everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I actually helped a lot too with I supported. I tweeted.
Yeah. I was part of it, sweet tits.
I meant to tell you the two of you were the goddamn best. Yes. Kudos all around. You too.
Are you dating Danny?
I'm on the apps a little bit. I don't know. I've gotten a little bit of burned out. I don't know. I think I just
burnout. Look at you.
It's just I need to do me. I moved to New York, 10 years ago or whatever. I tried to do stand up. I didn't do so well. I'm still trying to get there. I don't have my hour. And I'm like, am I doing this or what? Like it's not cute anymore. Am I going to do this or am I a hobbyist? And that's kind of where I've gotten right now.
So you're sort of giving up dating to put your energy into the comedy career?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still messing around on Hinge and stuff, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm like, I do one open mic a day now, and I'm really developing a lot of new material. It's not good yet, but it's definitely new. It's nice and fresh, but you're like, this is not cooked. And that's been my focus. And I'm like, do I really need to take these girls on dates? And then dates are expensive. It's a whole thing.
You hear that, ladies?
Dates are expensive. I just want them to know.
I'm fucking around on Hinge. If anyone wants to get something,
well,
whatever.
She did this thing. She's like, "Oh, let's go on a charcuterie, And I was like, "Oh yeah, no big deal." She goes, "I'll bring the drinks in the blanket," and I was like, "Great deal. We're splitting it right down the middle." And then I went to the store and I bought shark stuff. You get the cheese, you get the crackers, you get the meat. I spent $60. She's a nice girl. I got no problem with her, but I'm like, I just blew $60 on nothing. I'm like, let's get coffee. You want a water? How about a nice ice water? Let's go.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. My brother just went on a date, didn't go anywhere. He's like $120.
That's brutal.
Oof.
Where'd he go? That's a big first date. He's like, let's go to a Michelin star.
He went outside of New York and California. So they have to actually go on a date. It's not over here where it's like, so I'll meet you there. It's like, yeah, I guess that's a date.
Cool. When I dated, it was Blue Aprons. I was a member anyway. And I'm like, let's just jump to I cook you dinner.
I like that, Keith. I didn't know you were smooth like that. I love that for you.
Oh, look at all the credit he gets. Imagine, Danny, if I told you that the dates were I cook for you. What are you trying to lock this down? What's going on?
Excuse you. I would gladly be cooked for. I've never been asked on such a date. I would love that, Hemda. Come on.
I was wrong. As I said it, I'm like, this is the wrong person to say it to. I'll use that on someone else when it's more accurate. Thank you, Danny.
Danny, can you do us a favor based on your podcast, which I'm a big fan of? Am I the asshole? This, of course, is on Reddit. People say, hey, this happened to me. This happened to someone else. Who's the asshole here? I'm going to try to put in words that make it seem like I'm not because I'm the one typing it.
Right.
But and then somehow, even with the people telling only their side of the story, it's often clear they're the asshole. That's what's amazing to me. There should be some kind of punishment. I don't know what. But if you told me the story and it's clear you're the dickhead, that's amazing.
This is like one of our favorite game shows.
Yes.
Love it.
So if you could run through a couple for us, me and Hemda will try to give your opinions. I'll try not to have an answer in the first sentence, but I can't promise.
Yeah. And I wanted to tell you guys, Spotify Wrapped. I'm sure you guys got a huge response. What a cool thing. As podcasting people, we love it. But we got this so a couple people were like, yeah, listen to 7,000 minutes of AITA pod. I was like, that is so crazy to me. Okay. One person though, 26,000 minutes, and I'm sure you guys have much higher than this with how many episodes you have and everything. 26. And I was like, this doesn't even make sense because we don't even have that much content. And I said, what's the deal? They go, I fall asleep to it every night. And my favorite one to fall asleep to is the one with Keith and the girl.
Oh, you like to fall asleep while Keith yells?
How do you fall asleep to that? I'd look into that. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you about BetterHelp in a minute. I mean, my God.
Yeah.
What kind of dreams is this guy having?
Yeah, I know, right? There's a man on a plane and he's making me uncomfortable. Should I sell him my seat? And Keith, yeah, you're an asshole.
How can I sleep when somebody yells, the fuck out of here?
You know what? I used to take that as I tried not to, but it was weird. People would say, I'm falling asleep with your podcast in Mayor. And I'm like, it probably shouldn't be like the same effect as a lullaby, right?
I know,
like,
right.
I don't want to take that. But then you remember that show, Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23? Horrible title, terrible advertising, wonderful show. Only 2-3 seasons. I used to fall asleep to that because I loved it so much. And also because I knew it so well, I can have my eyes closed while it's on and still watch the show. I know all the scenes. And it was one of my favorite things ever. And I'm like, oh my God, people falling asleep to your show is a compliment. What a weird world. But I experienced it firsthand.
Oh, Jussie Smollett. Hate to hate crime. So Danny, yes, if you please, give us some scenarios.
AITA for not paying the vet bills for someone's dog I injured and probably can't afford to pay.
He's the asshole.
Really?
I, 17F, so it's a woman, so you're already wrong, Keith, was out this afternoon playing soccer with some friends. It's at a park and there's usually other people there, but today it was just us. About 20 minutes in, a lady comes and she has an old looking dog, gray face, walked like an old dog.
Interesting.
Okay.
Don't lead the witness, please.
Right. Real old, I'm saying. I don't mean soul. I mean bones and eyes and drool.
I'm saying deathbed. And as a matter of fact, I think they were doing that thing where they're weekend at burning this dog. It was pathetic.
Right.
My friends and I ignored them, meaning the old dog and the lady.
Okay.
At some point, they were maybe 10 feet from the edge of the soccer field, and I was passing to a friend, but I overshot, and it ended up hitting the dog. Neither the owner nor the dog was paying attention, and it hit the dog's back legs and swept them out from under her. It appeared that she had some injury to her hip or hind leg. I immediately apologized and asked if she wanted help getting the dog into her car, if she wanted me to call an emergency vet so they would know she was coming. She said no, but asked for my phone number so she could contact me about vet bills. I was a little taken aback and surprised, and she said I should pay them because I kicked the ball. I refused. I'm not giving my number to a stranger, and she shouldn't bring an old dog so close to a field where things are being kicked around.
Yeah, she's pushing it, but
It's a lot, yeah.
I follow. We heard Johnny.
She got upset and huffed off, and later my friend texted me, quote, "You probably should have given her your number. It was your fault. I probably can afford to pay them, but I'm a senior in high school and have a part-time minimum wage job, and I'm trying to save. AITA for refusing to pay the bills."
I don't see why this kid has to pay the bill.
I don't think the kid has to pay the bill. When you first said it, I assumed like maybe it's her dog that ate the other dog or something. No, you're walking. Shit happens. Insurance is expensive, but this is the price you pay for having a dog. No, watch if a soccer ball is able to get close to your dog. No, I don't think the person has to pay. I can tell the person's an asshole nonetheless. With, how many times you got to tell me about this fucking dog was being taken to the pound anyway? No one asked, but I think no. What do you think, Danny?
Well, I mean, wasn't it OP's fault? You know, I mean, they were kicking this ball, it hit the dog. I mean, shouldn't you be able to walk a dog around a park? I mean,
wow, this is just like Talmud class. Let's see. I get what you're saying. Because, yeah, that's
the point of the podcast. I always wanted to be Jewish. So I was like, let's just make this like Talmud class. That'll be great.
I get the comparison. Like if you're in a car and you are the one who hit another car, it's your fault. And there's insurance set up for that. And if you're the one who hits first in a fight, then you're responsible for the fight.
Right.
Things like that. But I don't know. I don't know that this translates into this. I don't know how much the vet bill is. I don't know that this person needs to go into, I almost said this child again, but then I know I'm trying to lead the witness. I don't know that this high school student who is obviously struggling to make their world a better place. I don't know. It's a tough thing to throw on someone. Like it's not on purpose.
Right. It wasn't on purpose, but it was their fault. I mean, look, Keith, I thought you hit the nail on the head, frankly. I mean, I'm giving you some charity here. You said shit happens. And ultimately, that's kind of where I landed. I'm like, look, it's a soccer field. Soccer is played there. Yeah. If you put your head near it, you could get bonked in the head. Like that's a normal part of the game of soccer. You know, if they were shooting rifles on the soccer field and you got shot, like, that's a different story because that's not what soccer fields are for.
But what about if you're in a baseball field and the ball comes your way and hits you in the face? Do you expect money?
Well, from the MLB, because I'm like, money's involved. You know,
because fuck them. Yeah.
And if it's dangerous,
and then you paid to be there. So that's different.
If kids are fucking around, like if kids, as opposed to the MLB, are playing baseball and I have my dog there, whatever happens is my fault. I've had dogs. I'm very aware of what's going on out around the dog. A soccer ball wouldn't get close to my dog. I know that. That it's poor dog ownership.
I'm with you. You guys landed on the right answer right away. I was just trying to extend it and make all your listeners hate me. What is he saying?
Are you a devil's advocate guy in real life? Like when you don't mean something, do you, just for conversation, do you find the other point?
I think it's important when people are in a conflict to try to understand where the other person is coming from, at least. You know, I mean, if someone's venting, there's no point. You know, you want to just let them talk it out. Right. But like, yeah, if someone's like, oh, I hate this. like, yeah, I've got family drama, and I'm always like, well, to try to understand, maybe if we could how people have grudges that span decades, and you're like, we're not getting to the bottom of this today. This eternal war you're part of.
That's something to keep in mind. Like, hey, let's unracism grandma this season.
Yeah.
That's, what? I'm going to pick different 2022 goals for me. Thank you.
No, don't give the number. That's admitting something could be a problem in court. All of a sudden you hit the legs, but there's a lump in the dog's throat. How are you going to the vet to make sure you're just paying for a certain thing? No, it's the owner's responsibility. And that's that.
Yeah, I'm feeling really conservative as time goes on because I'm like, responsibility is a value of mine. But I think it's true. I think it's a healthy way to live your life. And I love that you said that, Keith. You're like, yeah, if I'm at a park with a dog's my responsibility. I think that's the way to go.
If you're scared of a flying Frisbee, don't be around the flying Frisbees.
I know I'm going to get killed by a baseball, by the way. I can feel it. Like Final Destination style, bonked right in the head. They're going to go, he should have paid attention. That's what he said. That's what he said. Now he's dead.
Right.
This show is becoming like the Wishmaster.
Let me mention. Well, I'm sorry. Let me mention this, by the way, since I brought it up. BetterHelp. How about go to a little therapy and realize what's your fault and what's their fault? How about that? BetterHelp.com/KTG. I use it. Kenda uses it. We're so evolved. Come on. BetterHelp. You can join over 2 million people who've taken charge of their mental health with the help of experienced professionals.
I don't trust people who don't take charge of their mental health. Who's going to take charge of your mental health? Me?
And they put it on us, right? So many people have been using BetterHelp that they're recruiting even more therapists in all 50 states. So here's what you do. To get 10% off your first month, a little bonus. You go to betterhelp.com/KATG. Okay. Danny, if you would.
Absolutely. AITA for telling my cousin that her social media presence is pretentious and weird.
Okay.
What, you want a good response from that? Take whatever you can when you say something like that to someone.
Right.
And now I will accept my thank you. What? I'm making you a better person. BetterHelp.com/KATG. Danny, please.
Wait, is BetterHelp chat or phone? What is it?
Whatever you want. Phone, video, chat, however you feel comfortable talking, you get it off your chest. You get some nuggets of wisdom.
Love to hear it. Here we go. My 32M cousin, 27F, all right, 32-year-old guy, 27-year-old woman, is a PhD student.
The woman is who's the guy talking?
The OP, yes. The poster, 32-year-old guy.
Okay.
And then this is a 27-year-old woman. She's a PhD student. She has been for about 4 years. And honestly, in the time since she's been at college, in general, her personality has changed, but even more so with this new school. One of the ways I've seen it is on social media. And they write Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I think you guys could have solved. I think we know. She literally only talks about grad school and academics and quote unquote theory. This is what she calls it. And TBH, it's all very confusing to me, and I don't know how to describe it.
To be honest, theory's confusing, and theories in quotes, because even that's a theory.
Am I the asshole? No, you are the dummy. Right. She keeps posting things about going to class, and be honest, I don't understand her theoretical thinking, and I just feel like she should post about puppies like I like.
She was 5 years younger, but now she seems 30 years older, and I don't like it.
I don't get it. Why is she in school? What is she learning? Oh, wait, I don't like learning that. Stop.
I think he should have to put up his 3 latest posts and her 3 latest posts.
OP goes on and complains. He says, there are barely any updates on her life. And when there are, it's still academic stuff.
Oh my God, you are so in love with your cousin and you want a bikini shot. And this is really weird. You have been fantasizing. All she tells me about is her learning. What's happening with your vagina? Why can't we talk like cousins?
And then when she does, it's about dates with dudes that aren't me.
I don't get it.
Meetings. She's posting meetings with her theory reading group, department happy hours. It's always these pictures of her at these academic events. She just recently posted a big thing about how she's excited to present at MLA this year. I couldn't even tell you what that is.
Can't Google it. But can we call my cousin an asshole?
Honestly, all us cousins
Yeehaw.
used to be very close, but now all of us can't really relate to her as we're not exactly a family that did college and stuff like that.
And stuff like that. That does smart things and stuff like that. We do honest, pure things like not learning.
Like sit here and judge and not Google.
Yeah. I like the theory an honest day's work. Sorry.
She's not like that in person, though. Okay. She just wants to hang out, but her social media tends to be on her minds when he talks to her, and it affects things, I think. Anyway, she's at home for a couple weeks.
Yeah. Anyway, it's ruining my boner. Well, here's the thing. She's home for a couple weeks.
Oh my God.
And a bunch of us cousins were hanging out, having some drinks. Every now and then, one of us got a bunch of notifications. We check our phones. No big deal to any of us. No one was being rude and only on their phone.
Right. Very polite.
She got
okay.
I think kids are on their phone too much nowadays. Anyway,
she got a text, looked at her phone and smiled, laughed a bit. So I said, "Get anything good?" And she said, "Yeah, a friend sent me a really funny meme. Here, I'll pull it up." And I said, "Is it going to be the stuff you're always posting / sharing that none of us will get? Because I don't want to see it if it's that pretentious crap."
Wow. She's really ruining his boner.
She said no, but then said, "Never mind," and got all quiet. I asked her what was wrong, and she says, "I didn't realize you think I'm pretentious." And I said, "Well, it's really your social media. You only ever post about stuff barely anyone understands, and you're always talking about your academic life and all these things you go to. It absolutely comes across as pretentious and weird, like you're obsessed with academics, and you think that having a couple of degrees makes you better."
It does.
And by the way, he only is using the word academic because that's what she's posting about. Okay. 5 minutes ago, it was you only post about your learning. But now that she accidentally educated him, it's about her academics.
He learned the word from her. You mean?
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh,
Yes.
academic. That's a good one. Well, hold on."
Yeah.
You think it makes you, all this schooling makes you better. It does. I got a Harvard shirt at a gift shop. It makes me better.
Okay, so after that pretentious paragraph where he's going off on her about being pretentious, that long paragraph, he claims most of the cousins laughed at that. Really? That didn't feel like a laugh line to me, but okay.
Yeah, they were having a hoot.
2 of them said to cool it and to keep that for when it's just the rest of us. She just quietly finished her drink and left for the evening without saying goodbye to anyone.
Good.
She won't answer she won't answer texts now. I feel bad, but I was just teasing.
Because your texts were, "Hey, just being honest. You okay? You seem sensitive."
Yes. You seem sensitive. Fucking line from hell.
We're family.
Ew.
I was just letting
Mwah.
her know her social media makes her come off as pretentious. AITA. That's it.
Love you forever.
AITA.
Bye.
Fuck out of here, Danny. Is this a prank?
Right. Of course. I mean, there's no question. This guy's the asshole. He's a fucking idiot. She's going to school and stuff like that. We don't do college and stuff like that. You're also anti-vaccinated. Somehow anti-vaccinated. I don't know what you did. The guy's a fucking asshole idiot.
I want this guy's cousin's phone number, email, something, so I can get in touch and say, hold on strong. You're not doing anything wrong. This poor guy, he actually said when she hangs out, she's cool, she's fun to hang out with, but it's her social media that he just doesn't understand. So she's participating and trying to hang out like they quote used to or whatever. And it's like, why does she keep growing up and getting older? Do you have to get smarter when you get older? Because she's doing it and we're uncomfortable.
This feels like the most like, because, people are always like anti-intellectualism is all over the US. And this feels like a guy who's just like, yep, I hate it. I hate smart talk. I'm out.
Can you post something about being real? I'd understand that. Maybe the price of gas or something. Yeah, he's a Neanderthal. He's out to lunch. He's too much. Picture this guy's balls. He doesn't shave them. That leads us to Manscaped. This is what intelligent people use, Danny. Manscaped and the lawnmower body trimmer. The lawnmower. That's what the animal apes are walking around. They had to call it the lawnmower because you got so much going on down there. No, be a evolved human being. Be somebody your cousin wants to hang out with. Okay. I got the Manscaped Surefire stocking stuffers. I got the Manscaped 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner. Kill two birds with one stone. I got the Manscaped cologne infused body wash. I got Shears 2.0 luxury 4-piece nail kit. That all goes together, you fucking pigs. Crop Mob's ball wipes for your stanky balls. And the Manscaped signature cologne. That's on top of everything else. It's a full package. You'll see what I'm talking about. Go to manscaped.com. You'll use the code KATG2020. You get 20% off. You get free shipping. Okay? That's it. Manscaped.com. The code is KATG20. Get 20% off. It's the ballsiest gift of the year. Come on now. Yeah, are their puns dumb? Okay. But their products are quality. And I am a fan. Try to evolve yourself. Look like a human. Understand what your cousins are up to. And you'll have a good life. Promise.
I think this is huge because I get so tired of hearing like jokes about how vaginas smell, and you never hear about balls, but balls smell. They really are terrible. You know, Not my own, I guess, is what I'm talking. I'm realizing now what I'm.
Well, Keith has said like he has described that part of the body as like the armpit, the third armpit.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, guys, you watch porn and you're like, oh, my girlfriend doesn't lick my balls. Guess why? Guess what? First of all, they can't find it in that thicket. And secondly, it smells like, what's something that smells bad, Danny?
Balls.
It smells like balls.
Yeah. It smells
Trim
like
it up
old
and wipe
shoe,
it off.
Old shoe,
like,
old leather
like,
shoe. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
It smells like shoes with no socks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walking around like the hot sun.
Remember when Red Hot Chili Peppers wore socks on their dick? Well, these animals, it's like you're wearing shoes instead and no socks. You see what I'm saying? Come on now. Stop it. Danny, please. I'm going to vomit.
AITA. Now we're going Thanksgiving, Dean. AITA for quote unquote champion eating the Thanksgiving desserts.
Okay.
Every other year.
Champion eating. Wait. Don't call me an asshole. I champion ate. Okay, here we go.
I don't know what that means. Every other year, my family and I celebrate Xmas with Thanksgiving with some extended fam, aunt, cousin, crazy uncle, the classic spin-off family who are kind enough to host.
Okay.
This year, very distant cousin. I can honestly say it felt
By the way, sorry, when they're saying about inviting family, no smarty art people, right? Regular, they're still down to earth. Like it's kind of a dumb, like a community college or something. I hope
she's in school with the books and the people at the places. Nuh-uh.
Right. All right. We'll assume this family's real. All right. Continue, please.
This year, very distant cousin. We didn't know anyone at this event. Maybe I was thinking different people, different culture. Now, the opening Thanksgiving salvo here was extremely solid. Mashed potatoes, ham, mac and cheese, even pizza. There was plenty of food. I really ate my heart out.
Okay.
Literally.
A few minutes later, they announced the dessert table was open. Needless to say, my body resisted the idea of eating anything else as I was well beyond full. In fact, well beyond completely not hungry. I would say I was approaching, quote, I really won't need to eat tomorrow, and definitely well into this will affect my sleep.
Been there. All right.
Anyway, I mosey over to the dessert table. Lo and behold, these were God tier desserts. The cheesecake brought tears to my eyes. There were autumnal treats that were amazing, enormously thick cookies, and a chocolate fountain.
Oh, you know what? I'm feeling this guy's pain. I want to feel full and eat now. I don't know. He's selling it. Okay.
At this point, I decided I was morally obligated to eat this dessert. And so I switched into a mindset.
And he pushed it. Okay.
Too far. A mindset known as champion eating. This is the idea that powers people like Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
Basically, you are such an epic champion that you eat 50 eggs or something. I believe exercise is involved, but I don't do this part. I basically just call myself a champion and eat a lot.
Sure.
Okay.
I thought my opening dessert attack was pretty reasonable. It was a crowded, but not insanely so, single plate dinner size.
Okay.
Upon my return for round 2 on the same plate, I was given eyes, but no one said anything. On my third return, one of these distant relatives actually said, I think you've had enough.
Whoa.
Ooh.
I laughed it off because, well, it was true. But of course, it's the holidays. You're supposed to eat insanely. As I'm munching a divine oatmeal cookie, yes, the desserts were so good. Even this POS flavor was incredible. Another relative says, okay, the dessert table's closing. Just want to make sure you guys have tried everything.
Closing for what? Closing for the night? What are you closing? So there's more dessert? Everything's fine. It sounds like they have plenty of food. Okay, go ahead.
I jumped up, eager to audit the table and make sure I'd tried everything. My relative shut me down. You've had enough.
Jesus. How old's this guy? Did he say?
Didn't say.
Okay.
At this point, I felt weird. I've never been cut off from food before. The desserts were evacuated from the table, so it was for the night, and moved to a highly secretive location, the kitchen counter.
I hope the poster's 8 years old. Otherwise, it makes no sense.
As we headed out, about 20 minutes later, I simply could not resist popping another cookie. Again, the relative jumps on me. What are you doing? I was like, eating a cookie. He then said to stop eating and that he'd give a plate to go. I felt good about it, okay, because it made me realize all this commotion was about simply overindulging tonight. Okay, fair enough. My gut was disgustingly extended. 2 days later, I decided it's time to feast on my desserts. I open up my to-go plate. It's a cookie.
There's a salad. There's a salad.
It's a cookie and half of a Rice Krispie, a relatively meager haul. Given the sad size of this to go, I couldn't help but feel that I had legitimately overeaten desserts at this party. I guess I'd never really been to a party where there were food limits, especially not Thanksgiving. I just come from a culture of parties where people beg you to eat more. And then if you say you want it to go, you have to beg them to give you less because you don't want to die. Is this insane? AITA.
Well, if it's anything that I understand, I assume you were at your mother's house because that's the kind of treatment I get. Haven't you had enough? Is a phrase a lot of women have heard from their mothers growing up. And, of course, other people. Here's the thing. This is hilarious.
I'm sorry. Did he say he's a guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is hilarious. It's hilarious that it took the cookie and the half a Rice Krispie to realize you may have overdone it at this party. You got the eyes. You got the literally saying you've had enough. You've had enough a second time, but it was your to-go bag that clued you in on these people's feedings, right?
I don't
know, but you've had enough is. I don't think you say that to a guest.
You don't say it. It doesn't matter if you're family or otherwise. I'm trying to, and this is no excuse. I'm guessing maybe is he overweight? Does he have to the family? Does he seem to have a history with the food issues? Maybe that's the part we're missing. He didn't add.
No, but regardless, that's still none of their problem. That's still not how you react. Okay.
Of course. That this is crazy. It's like all the cousins in these stories are trying to fuck each other. Who gives a shit? he eats too much. It's the holidays. Fuck off.
And I've just never run into this culture before. I mean, like I do agree with this. I mean, I always go to this Christmas party in Casa Grande, no less, town of 30,000, not exactly the wealthy people of America. And it's like, they're trying to give us trays and we're like, we can't have a tray of ravioli that will like, please keep some of your food here. They're like, we can't eat it. And that's always the energy. Whenever I go to a big hosted event, it's like kind of crazy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what are you keeping that food for? Why do you care? Is there one for everybody on the plate? You might want to, as a guest, notice that,
Yes.
But if they're that's fine. If there are 8 people and there's like 8 little donuts and 8 little cupcakes, then take one. And then if somebody doesn't want that one, then you start the negotiations. But they're putting food away.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like that. If there's a waiter, don't punch him in the balls. But other than that, yeah, of course, there's plenty of food. It sounded like he took one of everything. It's these families. I tell you, these families. Jeff, you're right. It sounds like you're over your family and good. This is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Let me eat. I wrote this one too. I had to see what you guys thought because I knew my listeners would support me, and I want to see if you guys would.
Are you the guy that
I'm the guy? This happened to me, and they kept shutting me down, and I left feeling like pretty bad. I was like, oh my god,
fuck. Oh my god! So they said to you,
yes, 3 times.
You've had enough. Who's this? Who's the person exactly who said you've had enough? My mother?
Well,
Did she come to this party?
No, it was not. No, it wasn't your mother. No, it was
Okay.
Keith's father. But yeah, and I was like, dang, like I guess we're extended fam. We don't know each other that well, but I was like, I just never been to an event where people are like, that's mine. I'm like, are you gonna personally eat these in bed tonight? Like, I don't.
That's so not fun. It's not a fun time. If it was my favorite cookies and you kept eating them and I'm like, oh, I was hoping to have leftovers. That's a joke. I was hoping to have leftovers. I'll fucking go to the store and get it again. Enjoy and throw up later. Do I have to hold your hair? Is that the problem?
When I said maybe the guy's overweight, were you like, no, but extremely handsome?
To be fair, I was wearing a very tight shirt and I had it was very bloated. And so I did look look a little big, but I was like, still, that's messed up.
What? You should have been shot because you looked full? Holy shit. Where's the rules before you go to these fucking fun people's house? Oh my God.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Now, here's what you do, Danny. Next time you're at a family event and they're like, I think you had too much to eat. Pop wireless earbuds in your ears and just go about your day. I recommend Raycon wireless earbuds. Okay, 'tis the season. Great gifts for the family. Great gifts for your friends. Great gift for yourself. I have them. They make sure your music sounds the best. Different modes. Maybe you're listening to a podcast. Maybe something instrumental. So you want, you don't want the music to be pushed too much. But maybe you want bass mode because you're listening to hip hop or EDM and you want things accentuated. Maybe you want a nice balance mode for your rock and your heavy metal. All of this and those tiny little earbuds that go right in your ears. Don't fall out like those shitheads across the street. You know who I mean. Raycon wireless earbuds. The holidays are coming up faster than you think. Now's the time to knock out that gift list. Avoid last-minute shipping scrambles. Right now, get 15% off site-wide. Use code HOLIDAY at Raycon.com/KTG. That's Raycon, RAYCON.com/KTG. Use code HOLIDAY today and get 15% off your entire Raycon order. That's Raycon.com/KTG. And I'll make sure at /coupons, we also put this information there at keithandthegirl.com/coupons. You'll see all the information there if I threw a lot at you today. But yes, I am a fan. And I think you'll be the hero.
By the way, take a look at keithandthegirl.com/coupons, like Keith said, because if you even click on those earbuds or click on anything there, it really supports our supporters. So if you're thinking, hey, I need to get a gift, here's all the places where you can get a discount and support our supporters so we can keep going. Thank you. keithandthegirl.com/coupons.
Yes. Danny, thank you so much for your time. It's always fun to see you. Other than you being a pig at parties, it seems your things are going well for you. And that's fun to see. Yeah.
Thank you.
I can't believe you had that experience.
That's a bummer. Yeah.
That really is a bummer. It's not you.
Thank you. I have been running extra hard and eating less. But look, I'm just preparing for the Christmas feast. You got to go crazy.
Yes.
Yes.
Also, we all know when you eat the regular food, like the meal, that goes in a compartment. And then when you're full, you put the dessert in some other compartment. Now, I'm not a scientist, but I have experienced this compartment. Been fully full.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Still have room for dessert. It feels like it goes somewhere else. And here's a little tip for the holidays. You know what helps you be able to eat the dessert? A nice cup of tea. I don't know why.
Wow. I got to try that.
I don't know why. Yeah. It's completely made up like the rest of the shit my parents told me when I was growing up. But it feels good. Who doesn't like a nice tea or coffee? Whatever you want.
I'll tell you this, Michael Phelps. If I was at this this event, and the cousin's like, oh, you had too much. I really would. Every time you took a bite, I'd be an asshole to the cousin, like, he's taking another bite. Can you believe it?
Wow. I think that's coming from inside the house. I think they're projecting.
Right.
Yeah.
I do want to mention this before we get out of here. I want to thank everybody, on behalf of Hendon and myself, for another year of Keith and the Girl. This last year, listen to this. We recorded a couple hundred shows, including special Keith and the Girl VIP shows like Q&A. Speaking of my daddy issues with my brother Ken, We'll keep doing that. Last week on Keith and the Girl, Diamond Dogs. And believe it or not, even more spinoffs. Every week, we met in the Keith and the Girl chat. We played poker. We hung out. We did another Keith and the Girl week for my birthday. So, the pandemic isn't stopping anything. Chemda hosted OMAC Club. I competed in 10 silent trailers. The 11th is tomorrow, as a matter of fact. We recorded a 24-hour comedy show. We streamed on our YouTube page. We have another one coming. So excited. By the way, I want to thank D Wolf on our YouTube page. Did you know this? We have a super thanks button on the YouTube videos. That's new to me. There's the thanks button, then there's a super thanks button. And D Wolf wrote, so excited to be able to use super thanks on YouTube to support my favorite podcasters, Keith and the Girl. I'm a 5-year VIP member and consume their content voraciously. That's how Danny eats, voraciously. Thank you. And thanks to all the subscribers. So mark your calendars. February 5th through the 6th, we will be streaming our 24-hour marathon on YouTube live. Subscribe now at Keith and the Girl channel, youtube.com/Keith and the Girl, right? Or what is it? Is that right?
Yeah. And if you're on YouTube, you just look for Keith and the Girl. It's pretty simple.
Hit the bell. Make sure you don't miss out. Thank you to all our listeners. Thanks to our amazing guests. Thanks to Danny. Thanks to our VIP hosts and members. Shout out to Xerxes for all the work he does behind the scenes to keep this going. And here's to another year with the Keith and the Girl community. We'll talk to you soon.